Here's the last and final joke of the episode. Why did the chef go to another bakery?
What chef? It's a baker.
I'm going to do it over. Hello everybody, welcome back to the Klaus Crafts and Restoration Show. Today we're going to be doing a video about changing the blade in a Makita 20 something other. Makita 2012 NB. There's two of them. This one's the NB. Changing the blade on it. This is one of the little scrawny slidey blades that's sharp on both sides. So when one side gets wore out, I ain't telling you what to do. Watch the video. Find out what happens when the other side gets wore out. Man, last time I've been wore out was last night. I invited this lady crow back to my cornfield. Man, she wore me out. I'm talking Love City. There was hearts flying all over this cornfield. Man, that crow was wild, buddy. Wild. Man, I hope you didn't get no friction burns. Probably did. Well, anyway, this is about changing the planer blade the correct way, right way, the safe way, not the wrong way. And if it is the wrong way, you'll never know it because the title's not doing it the wrong way. It's called doing it the right way, safe way, no other way. You got to use all your right tools, your common sense, unplug the thing. Man, you don't want to be changing that planer blade. Sit it down on crotch level, get your dick hung up in it. Man, you in trouble. I can see it now. Get your dick hung up in it, stretch it 10 feet long. Won't be able to see who you're making out with. Should be like way down the damn street. Watch them dirty jokes. I'm not the one allowed to tell them, because I tell them tastefully. I don't go all stupefied on them, because we got lady watchers, and you know women ain't got no damn sense of humor to begin with. They'll be calling the cops on us. Man, he told a joke. I'm offended. Oh no, call my lawyer. Get the cops, get the army, the National Guard. I'm gonna faint. Smelling salts, water, somebody. Man, you telling me? I seen a woman in a comedy club about 2-3 weeks ago, and I told her, what in the hell you doing in a place like this? She said, I'm going to get all offended and write about it on my Facebook and Instagram, Twitter and stuff, and I'm going to call the cops, take lots of videos and pictures of how I got offended by a joke about a worm making out with a French fry and all that stuff. Man, I'm telling you, I seen some women in the front of a comedy club one time. That comedian was cracking the whole house up. There was about 5 women in the front row, and none of them was laughing. And they paid for front row tickets. None of them. Because they like that damn drama. I don't want to laugh. It's against my religion. I can't laugh. I can't do that. I can only laugh when I'm single and not married. But after I lure in a boyfriend, I got to pretend to laugh. And then after I get married, fuck that stuff. Hell on earth. Drama, baby. Drama. Man, I could hear the subscriptions dropping already. All the women are like, how dare that monkey and that crow. I'm unsubscribing. How dare them offend my everyday way of living. Yes, that hurt. So let's change the subject. I don't know what else to talk about. Talking about women's fun. We ain't married. Our wives ain't going to give us grief when we get home. We ain't got none. We still got those fake laugh girls going on. I ain't getting married. I ain't single. I want to play the field. Man, me too. You know what field I'm going to play? The cornfield. Yep, you know it, brother. You know it. Well, I messed it up. Well, I'm going to get out of here. It's time to go and get something to eat. I am starved brown. You see, I'm brown. I'm starved that way. It's like my real color. The real color is blonde. I'm a blonde monkey. I'm starved brown. And I'm going to go get something to eat. And I'm going to relax. And I hope you enjoy the show. And I'm going to give you 2 jokes right now instead of 1. You guys deserve it because you're such a good audience. And we love y'all. Not really. Gotta say it. Why the hell would I love somebody I never met? Anyway, here's the jokes. Why did the lightning bug stop blinking? Why did the lightning bug stop blinking? He forgot to pay his electric bill. Well, that's a good one. Stop blinking. Get it? Look up lightning bug. It's a damn firefly. Jeez. Gotta explain these jokes. Woo! It's over your head. Over your head, people. Over your head. Yeah, they think lightning bug. They think it's a streak of lightning coming out of his ass. Man, some people. Firefly, for everybody that don't know what that is. Firefly. Well, goodbye, people. Hope you enjoyed the show and the jokes. I think the monkey got one more joke to tell. And we are out of here. And I'm going to see you guys later. I'm going to let the I'm going to see you guys later. I'm going to let the monkey take us out of here. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. See ya. And here is the joke. Why did the baker go to another bakery? Because he was out of ingredients. Woo, man, they got a good joke department now. An 8-year-old girl. Man, there's some good jokes, though. Do you know all these jokes? The last 3 episodes, I think, the jokes come from, except the Firefly. Firefly come from that jackass that's got his hand up my ass. But the other jokes come from the 8-year-old girl. That's good jokes. If you don't laugh at them, you're a child hater. Feel guilty? Get laughing, you won't be. We'll see you guys later. And don't feel guilty unless you got caught masturbating by your mom when you was young and felt embarrassed. Yeah, I said it. You heard it. Get over it. Okay, bye. See you later. Today I'm going to show you how to change the blade in this tabletop planer. This here is a 2012 NB Makita. Today I'm going to teach you how to change the blades in this 2012 NB Makita planer. This planer served me well for quite a few years. I've changed the blades in it one time. I'm going to change the blades in it now. The blades that it uses are these double-sided blades. I've installed one blade already, so I'll install the other one to show you how it's done. They're exactly the same. I will move around to the other side so you can see better. These blades are very sharp, so be careful when removing them. These blades are also double-sided, meaning that when you use one side up, you can flip it around and use the other side. So remember, use one blade up, turn it over, and use the other side. Double-sided blade. We'll put the blade aside right now, and with your 2012 NB planer comes a onboard toolkit. Always leave this toolkit on board in your planer so you will never lose it. Never add or take away to anything in this box. These are the magnets that hold the blade in place when you put it on. This is an Allen wrench, but we won't be using this today. We'll be using this to get loose the bolts inside of the planer. The first step is removing these 2 bolts here. If they're too tight to remove by using your fingers, then you can get a wrench and loosen them up. Here's one, and here's the second one. Put them on the top where it's easier to not lose them. Put them up there. Once the 2 bolts are out, or screws, remove the top, slide it out. The curved part goes in the back. The straight part goes in the front, which you'll know that anyway because you won't be able to screw it back on. Next, you will see the blade right here. I put a check mark on this side because I've already changed this one. So I'm going to turn it, but it does not move. How do you turn it to get to the other blade? Well, I'll show you. See here? Right here. When you remove this, this is actually pressing down on this. See? Spring loaded. When you put the screw on, it stays down. That is made that way for a reason. Safety precaution. When it's off, and you may accidentally have it plugged in. So what you do is you push this down with your finger, rotate the blade carefully. And once it gets around, let go, locks in. Now it does not move. Now these screws here can be a bitch to get loose sometimes. So you may want to break out a pair of gloves when you're turning it. I've never had to use an impact wrench or a drill on these, but they can tighten up pretty much on their own over time. So I'm going to go ahead and put on both gloves because I'm superstitious. No, I'm just joking. I'm putting on both gloves because I may need some leverage. I'd use these gloves on the other side. So put it on. There's enough room in here. So get this on and crank it, and it turns. See, that one turned really easy. Those on the other side I had trouble with. You're going to get in there. It's a little bit awkward, but you can do it. These are turning easier than the other side. That's good. It's the other side. There's a little bit of adult language. Because some of the screws. And when you get to the end, you're going to notice that the power cable is close to this screw and right up above this one. So you may have to move this in and out a little bit to turn it. But once you get it loosened enough, see, that was in there real tight. But once you get it loose enough to turn by hand, you don't have to worry about this. And if you get it in there, like that, see, that is a tight place to work, and that power cable is really in the way. So these are broke free. I'll test them all. So they're all broke free. Leave my tool over here. When you do that, remove these gloves. Now if you want to handle the blade with gloves on, because it's sharp, these are actually like shark gloves. They say they can't be cut, but I'm not using shark gloves. I find out when changing these blades like this, because they're awkward to change, gloves, they get in my way. If they don't get in your way, it's good. Hallelujah, brother. But they get in my way. So screw these out. Oops, and I almost dropped one. Screw these out one at a time. These 6 screws. How do I know there's 6? I counted them. I counted them for video purposes. Now when you take the top piece off, chances are your blade's going to stay stuck to the metal that it's on. It's not magnetic. It's sticking there because of gummed up tree sap and everything else that's got on it that you've been planing. So that's why it's sticking there. Now if you got a blade and you run a piece of wood through it and it has a nail in it, like a little small brad nail that you didn't see, and it chips the blade, then you've got a little small groove every time you plane, you could either leave it alone and plane farther down, but if you're planing wide boards, it's going to be there. So what you can do is actually get the planer blade and unloosen the screws and offset the blade just a little tiny bit, and it won't do that no more. Just one of the blades won't do that no more. So when you're finished, you take your magnets, attach it to this top panel, lift it up, take it off. And the blade is here, and I'm not worrying about getting sliced by this blade because this thing is done for. Pick it up with a magnet too. Now this blade, if you run your fingers up and down the blade like this, on this new blade, run your fingers up and down it, you're going to get cut. You're going to be in a world of hurt. Because this blade is so used up and dull. Look at that, this thing is... Yeah, if you continue using a dull blade, it will actually damage the chain and the belt and the sprocket in your planer. So it's better to get rid of these. Now I paid $3,950, and seeing as how you can use both sides of the blade, that's a good deal. And 3,950 is what? About $80, something like that. So once this is done, you want to clean the debris off of here, because this is where you're going to screw this back down. You want to get the debris off of here. You don't have to worry about all this stuff in here. That don't matter. You can clean all that later if you want to take these extra parts apart. And what I'm going to do while I got it apart, I wanted to put some silicone on it, but I'm out. So I'm just going to put some of this oil on it. Put a little bit down on these holes. Always putting oil in those holes and it'll make it so the screw will vibrate out. Well, don't put none in there then. I am. And when you're done cleaning it and wiping it down, which I don't have a cloth. I thought I had one here. Oh, here it is. When you're done wiping it down with my wife's good cloth. Okay, now it's good and clean. Now I'll show you why these magnets are shaped like this. And you'll say, well, my new blade, how do I know how far to put it up or how far to put it down? What if I put it too far down? What if I put it too far up? Well, you can't. Because the housing for the blade, which is also needs cleaned, has a groove in it. And that groove sits down in here, sits down in the blade. And like I said, be careful with that blade. The groove, it has a groove here, a little indentation. This hooks down a little bit. It sits down in here, like that. See, the blade can't move. The blade, you'll be saying the blade is longer than this. The blade is supposed to be longer. You even up the blade on each side. They give you a little bit of leeway on that blade, so if you've got, like I said, if you hit a brad nail or something, you can move it a little bit. They give you a little bit of wiggle room with these blades. And now, why these are shaped like this, you want to put this not where the screw goes. Put it in the middle, put it over the corner, put it in the middle, put it over the corner. Now if you buy one of these second hand, make sure it's in right, make sure it's in the groove. I almost cut myself already. Make sure it's in the groove. Make sure everything looks fine, make sure it's not on the holes. Now if you buy one of these second hand, you may not have these magnets, and you can change it without these magnets, but it's just going to be a little bit harder to do. That's why I say that anybody that owns tools, if the tools are actually supposed to be on board on a machine, you should leave those on board on a machine. You don't need to put them on a shelf. There's no reason, none whatsoever, to remove that box of tools from this planer. There's absolutely no reason. And there's no reason to take any out and use them on something else and not put them back. There's no reason to add stuff in that box. I mean, it's well hid back here. It's not in your way. And once you get it on, these magnets are pretty strong. So once you get it on, you hold it by the magnets, put it back in like that. You hold it by the two magnets and put it back in. You may need to snap into place a little. Then once you put it in, take a screw, put it on this side, and just hand tighten it. Don't put the mojo on it, don't do anything, just hand tighten it. Take another screw, put it here on this end.
Put it here on this end. Just finger tighten it. And the other ones, the other four, same way. Just hand tighten them. And we'll put one here to help it out. Now if this raises up a little bit, sometimes your blade will raise it up a little, won't slide in 100%, just kind of press on it, it'll pop down. Some people get intimidated by changing blades in planers or sometimes even a blade in a sliding compound saw. A blade in a sliding compound saw is, I'd rather change a blade in a planer than change those. And they're not that bad to change, but this one's actually easier. A lot of people get intimidated with this. Well, what if I put it in wrong? What if it's sideways? Or what if it's I can't get it? Or what if I drop something? Or it's kind of intimidating to open this up and see this big row of screws and all this stuff holding it together and everything. It's kind of like that. So now you just once the screws are on, just crank it a little. Remember, you're still not tightening these yet. You're just cranking them down so it'll hold the blade firmly. You're not tightening it yet. And once you do that, remove your magnets. And if you forget these magnets, don't worry, because you can't get the housing on if they're still in there. And once you use something, put it back right away. Don't leave it laying around. Now we're going to tighten this up, starting on the ends. Tighten it up till it's snug. Don't put the mojo on these things. Go from one end to the other end.
What's a mojo?
Don't put too much pressure. That's a mojo. Don't over tighten it. End to end. Then the next one, end to end. And then the next one, end to end. And now to hold this button down, turn it, but be careful of the blade. This part here won't cut you. This part here will. Turn it and crank it down. I'm going to lock this side in and see if I can erase this off. So the next time I change blades, it won't be there. Can't get it off good. It's good enough. So that won't be there, telling me the wrong thing. Hey, you done this already when I didn't. Okay, the blades are in. The blades look good. They're getting ready to go to work. Get a lot better cuts now with these. I should have changed these a long time ago. When you get these things go dull so slow, your brain sometimes can't comprehend when, well, that thing needs changed. So when you get that done, get this part back, the biggest fold. My wife said clean it, so I clean it. See, look at that. That's tree sap stuff. They make a chemical to remove this, but I can't buy it here because I'm in the Philippines right now. But you take this, put it back in, and there's your wiggle because of this. So press it down because of this blade turner. Blade don't turn. Press it, blade turns. Put this on. Put this in here, and they made these. This is nice the way they made these. They're just twist them on. It's not all the way tight yet. Never all the way tighten one side of anything until you get the bolts or screws in the other side also. Misaligned things like that. And just finger tighten it like that. Grab your tools. Close it back up. If you can, put your tools back on board. Shut it up and get it ready to move back to its work position where it will serve me many more years. And like I said, if you use the dull blade too long and use it on harder wood, you're going to damage your planer. I did that before. I knew the blade need changed and I didn't change it. I was thinking I'm going to go ahead and do these 45 boards, and that's a lot of boards. Then I'll change it because it's just something I'm using outside. What happened was it put this, not this, but the other used blade, the other spent blade, put so much pressure on that wood trying to cut it, it bent my sprocket. The sprocket come off, broke the belt, and broke the chain. Like everything that is in here that made this work got destroyed by a dull, really dull planer blades. You don't want your machine struggling when it cuts.
because that's not good. If you think, well, that's just the blade's getting it, the blade's not getting it. Everything else in here is getting it. The motor's getting it, your sprocket's getting it. One side has a rubber belt, one side has a sprocket chain like a motorcycle. All of that's getting that pressure, that force, that wear, and that tear. That's why when I noticed this was cutting not too good anymore, it's time to get rid of it. And because it's already been flipped, there's no more good sides on this one. So that has been today's lesson, tutorial, whatever you want to call it. It's according to what decade you live in. So it's according to when you was born, what you want to call it. So that's how to change a blade in a Makita 2012 NB. Not the 2012, they also make a 2012. This is the 2012 NB, the more powerful, better one. It's better than the 2012. And some planers don't use a blade like this. Before you buy a blade, take the housing off and look at the blade. Some have those god-awful, the big blades like used to come on those old handheld planers. I don't like those. And you can't flip them either. And find out what kind of blade it uses. But you know what kind this uses. All 2012 NBs are going to use this, so now you know. You don't have to look it up. And you can handle it like this. Not going to get cut anymore. So that has been today's tutorial. I said that for the third time. Hope you enjoyed the video and hope you found this useful. And if you have one of these, now you know how to change the blade. And like I said, if you don't have the magnets, if you bought it second hand or you lost yours for some reason, you can still change it. But it's just going to be a little more fiddly to do. So if you like the video, hit the like, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and there'll be more videos like this and many other different videos, because the channel that I've made is a review, crafts, and restore, and should put a tutorial in there somewhere because that's what I just done. And so it's the Klaus Reviews and Crafts channel, restore. So I'll see you next time, and happy planing. Bye.